Good morning, all my friends. I'm Auntie Kara, but this video is not for kids. This is another edition of book reviews for grown-ups who love fairy tales, and we are talking about Throne of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. And this is a romantasy series. I rated it a 4 stars out of 5. Now, I'm going to preface that by saying that the first third of this book, I was not overly impressed. The book is kind of, in the beginning, giving sort of Bridgerton with someone splattering some demons and magic and things in there. So I was just kind of like, yeah, I've seen this before, nothing major. However, the evolution is such that towards the end of the book, I ended up really loving it. It follows Camilla, who is seemingly a courtier who is an artist, but she is not all she appears to be. So that character arc and kind of unraveling the mystery of who she is a big part of the story. And she just so happens to fall in love with a new courtier in town who, of course, happens to be a prince of hell, more specifically the prince of the sin of envy. So there's all the 7 brothers representing the 7 deadly sins, and they all have dominion over that sin, and being in their presence kind of brings it out in people, as to be expected. Be warned, or encouraged, the spice is intense and it is on point and it happens often, so not a book for children, and use your discretion if you're recommending it to your teen as well. But overall, it was a really cool journey. There was this whole evolution of characters and evolution of the relationship. In that way, it did remind me a lot of Bridgerton, just kind of seeing, going from it being, oh, we're just like playing a game, to actually developing real feelings. And Envy has this rule that he's only with a woman one night and that's it. So there's kind of the big buildup of teasing each other to that one night, and then that one night happens, and then both characters deciding if they actually want something more. And I definitely squealed at this book a few times. There was, some pretty epic romance in there. As I said, the first third of the book, I was like, meh. The middle of the book, I was more intrigued. And by the end of the book, I ended up really loving it. So I'm not going to spoil too much. It is a wild journey. I highly recommend you check it out. I am going to read a couple passages just to give you a little taste, and then the rest is up to you. How many others had foolishly underestimated the Prince of Sloth, had mistaken his penchant for reading all day for laziness instead of what it truly was, honing the best weapon in his arsenal, his mind. If knowledge was power in this circle, then the prince standing before her, hands tucked carefully into his pockets, dripped with it. He gazed back at her with the precision of a scientist, and Camilla knew there was no detail he missed, no subtlety or nuance overlooked or cast aside. Lo was not a lazy, slothful male by any means. He was infinitely patient, calculating, wickedly intelligent. Lo took his time, studying until he was satisfied with all potential outcomes. If he was currently without a partner and sought one out, God help the person he fell for. Camilla knew that he'd leave no stone unturned as he investigated them to the fullest degree, plotting and planning his seductions so well they wouldn't stand a chance. Not that anyone would want to. Underneath that unassuming appearance lurked a warrior just as deadly and ferocious as his brothers. Your guest's suite is just down the next corridor. His expression had returned to indifference as he continued at a leisurely pace. Please make yourself at home. My brother will likely turn up within the next hour or 2. Camilla bit her lip, stalling. Might I be permitted to look around more? Lo drew up short, eyeing her closely. What subject are you interested in? She wondered if he knew about the game, how much she should reveal. Honestly, I'm looking for a clue. It's for Envy's newest game, of course, Lo sighed. I'm not sure how you've gotten involved with it, but you seem like a good person. Don't let Envy's obsession with winning just to boast about it destroy you. These games are seldom worth the price. That didn't feel true from what Camilla had seen. Envy was driven, focused, yes, but his intensity didn't seem like something frivolous. He hadn't told her otherwise, but she'd begin to suspect the game meant more to Envy than Envy was letting on to anyone. That's the first little tidbit. All right, one more section. What is the orb of Golath? She asked again. Golath is known as the Fear Collector, an ancient being often thought to have possessed the first spark of evil, Envy said, still standing guard over the ball. No one knows how many orbs are in existence, but they open doors even we demons fear to pass through. That one here indicates we need to see Golath next. He gifts them when he has a message, or when he has a fear to collect. The Fear Collector. Of course. The next clue had to be some ancient evil. Why not the Wish Granter, the Dream Weaver? Envy's attention remained locked on the orb. His expression set hard lines as he concentrated. He dispatched the hex thrown with barely any effort, so to see him taking such care was anything but comforting. And there we have it. All right, so if you like a little bit of intrigue, a lot of romance, and kind of an ever-running game that you're not quite sure where it's going to be, this book might be for you. If you've read it, or if you do read it, please leave me a comment below. I love to hear what everyone thinks. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to see more, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta for now.